Welcome to Hey, I'm a Certified Functional Aging Specialist, Now What? This is a 4-part series in which we're going to give you some steps and tips that are going to help you take advantage of your newfound credential and distinction so that you can get out there, help a lot of people, and also establish a successful career as quickly as possible. First off, though, before we get to our first step, I just really want to congratulate you on all the hard work that you put in to pass the certification exam. We know there's a lot of content that you have to work through, the reading, the videos. We appreciate so much all the time and effort that you've put into it, and that you've even come to us in the first place and agreed to go ahead and take this new credential. We really want to thank you for all the feedback that you've given to help us even improve this course more and more. We will continue to take your suggestions and make improvements as we continue to move forward. So let's get into our first step. So the first step that we want to talk about is get experience. Okay, so you went through some material, you answered some questions, so what? Well, although you have some newfound knowledge and you've probably been out there working on your skills and your abilities, a key is that you really need to get more experience, as much experience as possible. You want a lot of experience, but you also want a variety of experience. As we know, this older population is very diverse. You want to be able to work with as many different types of older adults as you can. So whatever environment you are in, I really want to recommend that you get out there and try to find some ways to get experience with a wide variety of clientele. So you ask, how do I do that? Well, very simply, if you have a senior center, a retirement village, a community center of some type, you need to go to them and offer your services for free and go through testing of their clients or their residents or the users of their facility. We've done this quite a bit in the past. This is not something that is really going to get you more clients probably. In fact, a lot of these places that we go to really don't have the financial resources to even come to our facility in the first place. And that's okay, because the goal now is to get experience. And by going to those different groups, you're doing several things. You're getting experience with the testing. You're getting experience testing a wide variety of people, because you're going to get those that are more frail. You are going to get those more active, fit, older adults, and you're going to get everything in between. You're going to have people with disease and without disease. You're going to have couples and singles and widows. You're going to have people of different economic statuses. So you're really going to reach a lot of different people. A lot of the places we go, they don't have really anyone on staff. They don't have the resources to be able to do this, even to pay for someone to come in from the outside to do it. So you are going to be very welcome to come in and perform these types of tests and give feedback then to the people that go through those tests. So one thing that I really want to stress, however, is that when you do it, you need to make sure that you take your informed consent, right? That you are legally covered in going out into the community and performing these types of tests. Because even if you're doing something as simple as a chair stand and somebody happens to fall down and hurt themselves, then of course potentially you could be liable. So you need to work out an arrangement with the facility ahead of time. Let them know that you have a consent form that you would have people sign. They may also have a consent form that either you or the participants would sign as well. So go out there, test as many people as you can, use the waivers, but also follow those protocols as closely as you can. Now in this type of situation, when you're doing large groups and you're trying to get through lots of people, you don't want to spend an hour with each person. You want to try to get some testing done in about 15 minutes. And often I will have couples go at the same time in order to try to make it even more time efficient. So you don't have to go through the lengthy, very detailed kind of health history form that you would go through if someone came into your facility, but you do want to hit on some highlights, or you want to make sure that these people are going to be okay to go through the testing process. And so therefore you want to see, what are their current issues, right? Do they have anything that is not resolved or anything that's new that hasn't been taken care of by a physician? So just going through a quick screening kind of health history process is going to be very helpful. Well, what about the training, right? That takes a little bit more time and effort. That's not a one-shot, let me go for a few hours and do some testing someplace. Training is a little bit more difficult, but I always encourage people to train others for free when you're just getting started, especially with a new credential, with something like this, like the functional aging specialist. You want kind of people to start knowing that you have already trained people with this new skill, with these new abilities. So train people for free, and I would recommend that you do that one-on-one, and you also try to get a small group going. So you might have a couple, maybe 2 or 3 clients that you would train for a set amount of days per week and for a set number of weeks, right? You don't want to say, hey, this is going to be forever, but hey, I would like to train you free 2 times a week for the next 4 weeks, and I'm going to use this as a time for me to get more experience with this new skill set that I have. And that's also going to help you to build some testimonials, right? You're going to get good feedback from them. You could even use them later on in one of our other steps when we talk about getting more exposure and getting more clients. So train a few people one-on-one, try to make them diverse, right? So they're not training the same exact type of person. And then also try to get some people into a small group. Maybe 4 people would be good to start with. You can even start with 3 at a time. Again, if you haven't led small groups before, it's a very different dynamic. And so your skill set has to be very sharp in making sure that everybody is staying safe, following your instructions, you're cueing them appropriately, they're doing the right exercise they need to be doing. It's a little bit different skill set. So if you haven't done it before, start small, keep it easy on yourself. Don't start with 6 to 8 people. Really start with about 3 to 4 in one group. So get out there, get experience, try to get a quantity of experience, but also try to get a variety of experience as well. So that is step 1. Get experience. This is the first part in a 4-part series, so check in with us later and we'll have the next step for you.